Hey, good morning, everyone. I am seated in probably one of my favorite places to share with you from my heart today. There's actually no setup, no anything. I just want to speak to you from my heart. About a year ago, around this time, I did a video about for parents, right? Especially to all my single mom friends, especially, but I would say for any parent, raising children, raising teenagers, raising young adults, and you get to that point where you don't see what you want to see, where you're facing difficulty, where they're not walking in the way that you would hope that they do, and then the conflicts that arise. And so many of you will remember that video that I recorded last year around this time, and it resonated and opened the doors for lots of conversation with other friends and parents. And so it's been amazing what God has done. But since that video, God has done so much, and the growth and the transformation has been it's been amazing. And so last year, around August, the Lord opened the doors for my oldest daughter to go to ORU. And, this was a big, huge door that God opened. And not only academically has it been a godsend, it's been amazing, but spiritually has been transformational, not only for her life, but she's also brought that blessing into our home. She's brought it back into my life. And so what I want to share with you as a parent, as a single mom, single dad, or as just parents, before they belong to us, they belong to God. And it becomes their story. It becomes their journey. It becomes part of their journey and part of their testimony. There are things that we need to cover. We need to cover them in prayer. We need to provide to the best of our capacity. We need to be watchful. We need to fight for them in ways that only a parent can. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they belong to God. And there's things that God is forging in our children. There are things that God is doing in them that have absolutely nothing to do with us, that have absolutely nothing to do with our own strength or our capabilities or lack thereof, or our incompetency as a parent. Because anytime something goes wrong, we begin to question our own judgment, or we begin to question, am I a competent parent? I don't know about you, but I've been there. I have been there. And so last night, Priscilla's a couple of weeks from going back to RU, and last night we engaged in conversation. And I'm telling you that the depths of that conversation, wow, I can't even put it into words. But I will say this to you. If you're listening to this video and you know that there is someone struggling or someone going through a difficult time, my words to you are: trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path, and He will direct your children's path. Your role is to pray over them. Pace your house if you have to. Lay hands on the areas that they live in. And for some people, it's like, oh, come on. No, really, you either, it's up to you. You can take it or leave it. But I'm going to tell you this: when you fight for your children, you may not see it right away, but God will spare them. God will find a way for them to come in line. And I'm believing that. I've been believing that for my family. And there's so many things that God is doing. But this video is not about that. I can go on and share some of the stuff that God is doing. But my point that I want to drive in right now is that as a parent, we need to come to that realization. The Bible says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. So therefore, God knew our children before we did. He entrusted us with them, but they belong to Him before they belong to us. And so the plan of God is going to come to pass. The promises of God are going to come to pass. Do not lose heart. Do not lose hope. On the contrary, speak life into them. Refrain from speaking anything out of anger. Refrain from not loving them through their funk, because there's going to be a whole lot of funk going on, and we need to love them, you know, tough love or discipline, whatever that entails, but from a place of love, and trust that God is going to see you through. God is going to see them through, and it isn't an easy journey, you know, to be a parent sometimes, but I'll tell you, God will fulfill his purpose. And so if you know of anyone that is struggling, share this video, you know, just send it to them. If you are going through something, take those words in and trust God with all of your heart, and know that he will soon turn things around. So enjoy this beautiful, beautiful morning, and be blessed and highly favored in all that you do. And we will be chatting soon.